morning, guys. My name is Jairo. Today we're going to be talking about the requirements for freshman and sophomore year. We're going to be talking about Natural Sciences in Section B.
Hey guys, my name is Alma. In the area Section B, each student is required to take one course from each sub-area, which is known as a physical science and a life science. I'm sorry, really hard, but this is the most exercise I've gotten in a really long time. So we've gone to interview 2 professors and 2 students on their perspectives on each course. But we're going to be focusing on perspectives in ecology and principles.
So the class I took was general biology. The class itself wasn't hard. I didn't really struggle in the class. I took my freshman year. As long as you take notes, you study hard, and you just do whatever the professor tells you to and what to pay attention to, you'll be fine. Would I suggest taking it? Yeah, since it is a general education class, you're gonna have to take one of those kind of courses. I had it with Professor Hughes. I would highly recommend him just because he's very interactive. He likes to get into the crowd. He likes to answer any questions you have. His office hours are always available. And he's just very knowledgeable because he's a researcher. He has a lot of experience. He's very good stories, and it's just very interactive class, and it's cool to listen to. Any advice for future freshmen? Just pay attention in class. Make sure you take your notes and don't miss class.
Girl, you look good when you... So the class that I took was Intro to Earth Science with Professor Knight. Throughout this course, you guys are going to cover topics such as the solar system, Earth itself, climate change, rock cycles, and things of that such. What I enjoyed most about the class was how she really broke down such broad topics and made it that much easier for us to really understand what was being discussed. And with that being said, I would highly recommend taking this class because overall it is generally a really easy class, and as long as you successfully complete all of the assignments, you attend class regularly and take advantage of the fact that she does let you use your notes on exams, then you're not only guaranteed to pass the class but enjoy it as well.
So I'm Dr. Dodenhoff. I do teach Bio 1009, but not every term. This term is very unusual, and I'm teaching 2 different lecture sections, so I have about 215 students. The Gen Ed Life Science challenges would be we're using online content, so a lot of my students have trouble accessing the online content because you have to go through a publisher. So we're converting over to using McGraw-Hill Connect. If any of you have chemistry, you're going to have fun with Alex. Yeah. So it's very similar to that. The other thing, the reason that a lot of my students put it off is that we are a laboratory class. So you do have lab once a week. So it's a large lecture, and then you will have 5 lab sections that go to that one lecture. The lab attendance is mandatory. You cannot miss more than 2 labs in the term. If you miss 3 labs in the term, you do not pass the course. So many students juggle with that and have to pay attention. So you have to pay attention to the rules. When you get the syllabus, you have to read through it. And as far as instructors go, we all have that requirement. So the syllabi are very similar. I think I differ from my colleagues in that I do use interactive quizzing. So we just did a Kahoot. I use something called a monster quiz, so we do that. And then I do have interactive, they're not PowerPoints, they're online, so they're interactive, where if we're drawing on a diagram, everybody who has an electronic device can draw along with me. So that's something that's different. So I find, not that I require you to have a cell phone, but if you have a laptop, a tablet, or a cell phone, you can use that. I do know there are other instructors who use iClickers, so it's similar to that, but you're using an electronic device. So a lot of technology used to teach a biology class, amazingly enough.
Awesome. Are there any projects that maybe you assigned for this? Or any big assignments, I guess, papers?
We used to. We are finding, because it's a general education class, the projects are piecemealed. So we do have a lab report, and we do it in different sections. So each week in lab you have an assignment that you would be doing that's building to a project or something that would be on the test. But luckily we have figured out that it's not good to have like a big huge 10-page paper. Now at finals time, I'm thinking about that. That is the problem, is that if you let the procrastination snowball, finals week becomes very difficult for students.
Definitely. And then would you suggest taking this class to any students as opposed to any other classes like ecology or?
Oh, I think there's only 2 versions you can take. You can take this course and then you can take the ecology version of the course, which if you're wondering the difference, this one emphasizes human. The other one emphasizes everything else. Basically, it's the ecology, or how living organisms interact in the environment. Sometimes I only teach 1 lecture section. You will notice that when you go to register, that there is an instructor and then labs underneath that. That instructor is in charge of those lab sections. So Ms. Cepetta's teaching a lecture section, she has her labs. And then next term, when you guys are registering probably, Dr. Engel will be teaching, and so she will have her sections. So the lab that you take is with a particular lecture instructor. So I only teach 1 section of it usually.
Some of you guys may not have to take Area Section B courses, and that's okay. We interviewed things, actually. So as I am a human biology major, I don't even have to take these classes. But I've heard amazing things from Professor Jodenhoff, and that she teaches very well, and she's very kind, and she really seems like she cares. She teaches several biology courses, and you can take her as a professor. It's just a suggestion.
And remember guys, stay in school.
Good when you back